Hello, Fantastic Beasts fans. We are days away from the release of Crimes of Grindelwald, and with spoilers starting to hit the internet, this will be my last theories video. However, I hope I've got some good stuff for you. I'm Susan Chappell with Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts to bring you the clues.
Join me and other Fantastic Beasts fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rowling's newest game. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you'll be notified when videos post and won't miss out on the next clues.
This will be my last theory video until the film releases. Because of advanced fan screening, true spoilers are starting to hit the internet. I stayed off Twitter mostly for the last 2 days until I could get this video done so I could remain unspoiled for my final theories. Up until now, even though I've labeled my videos as spoilers, everything I've mentioned has been drawn from authorized releases from Warner Brothers. The same is true for this video. Therefore, if you have seen the film or have heard from someone who has, please do not place spoilers in the comment thread below. Even though it may be marked spoilers, it's not for that type. In the coming days, I'll try to provide a video and comment thread for those who have seen the film to keep those comments separated for people who have not seen it yet. And for this video, if you wish to avoid spoilers of any type, please do not proceed. As this is my final theory video and I have a lot of ground to cover, please be prepared for a quick hit of the highlights without exploring all the meaning that I usually do. We can discuss more in the comments about what interests you most. And please stay with me until the end, where I'll share my plans for the next 10 days and how this channel will handle true spoilers and the upcoming film. So, in the last 2 videos, I've mentioned that Professor McGonagall would appear and that she must be time traveling. Since the last video posted, Snitchseeker published a final cast list from Warner Brothers that also confirms that Professor McGonagall is Minerva McGonagall, played by Fiona Glascott. In an older video, I showed the running teacher from a flashback scene and posted that she may be Fiona Glascott. Many of you wondered then if she was Minerva, but I said that according to Minerva's timeline, she couldn't be. Now it looks like you were right. So, if we have Minerva as a teacher during Newt's time and Minerva as a teacher during 1927, something odd is going on. It seems to make it less likely that she was time traveling and instead is part of the timeline. Unless she went back and got stuck for a decade or so. I cannot answer how. But with how many time hints there have been for the film, including many directly related to Prisoner of Azkaban, see the video I linked above for more, I still think some sort of time travel is involved here. We also got the name of our mystery character confirmed and the actress who plays her. Thanks so much to Lara for this image of French actress Danielle Hughes, who plays Irma Dugard. So, putting that together with the soundtrack Irma and the Obscurus seems to confirm that she is indeed the body behind Grimson in this scene, as at Top Sydney pointed out a long time ago in a prior theory. Now I can't wait to see if she is indeed a half-elf, as we've been the first to pick out and speculate. Jessica Williams as Eulalie Hicks' placement in the list is very intriguing. She's listed directly after Nicholas Flamel. We know that she's a professor at Ilvermorny. So is she in France visiting a colleague? Or, more probably, I'm wondering if we see her conversing with Flamel through his magical book or if he sees her in his crystal ball. Perhaps the two are connected, which may mean that even though I was wrong about Jessica as Perenelle, she may still be connected through alchemy with Flamel. Perhaps that is what she teaches at Ilvermorny. But the most curious revelation is at the end of the cast list in this grouping. Lorena Kama, Mustafa Kama, Yusuf Kama as a 12-year-old, Corvus Lestrange Sr., young Lita Lestrange as a 3 to 6-year-old, and Credence's aunt. I'm guessing they are all shown in some sort of confrontation scene that we may see from either Yusuf's or Lita's flashback. I'm also wondering if it ends with Credence's aunt, who may be Lita's as well, taking Lita away to England. However, it's the name Mustafa Kama that interests me the most. He's most likely Yusuf's father and Lorena's first husband, the one she was taken from. Mustafa is one of the names for the Prophet Muhammad, meaning chosen one. It's spelled different ways in varying countries, and this spelling is very common in Turkey, where the most famous Mustafa is Mustafa Kemal, the founder of the modern Turkish Republic after World War I, who became known as Ataturk. If so, and with the experience of the actor who was cast, he could play a crucial role. I've no idea if Rowling intends that kind of link, but I'll definitely be watching this character. In the last couple of videos, we mentioned some of the numbers from the soundtrack, but there are a couple more that may prove me wrong on 2 prior theories. One of the tracks is called Vision of War and could prove the vision scene was part of Grindelwald's amphitheater, unlike what I believed. Perhaps several of you are right when you thought that it was what he showed people there to persuade them against the Muggles. And Kelly L. believes that the bright light blast, which we see Queenie and Jacob reacting to here, may be the explosion of the atomic bomb, which Grindelwald could quite effectively use to convince the Magicals that they must stop the Muggles at all costs. Also, in the soundtrack is a number called Spread the Word. It comes right after the Vision of War, which would be the same timing as these people disappearing. So while I still feel that they may be disappearing back into pillars of dust of the dead, like we discussed in a prior video, I'm also prepared to accept defeat and acknowledge that it may just be a different way of operating as they go off to spread the word of Grindelwald's success. On to some specific details. Did you notice Lita's shoes in the first scene with Newt? Baby Scatha did, and thinks they look a bit like the blue fire dragon at the inn. I can definitely see the resemblance, and we've been talking a lot about Lita's inner monster and the secret she will reveal at the end of the film. Are these shoes just another hint? What do you think? Next, I've been wondering for a very long time why Newt is shown entering Flamel's home via his case. We know he has a magical card directing him there, which I was right about the symbol moving and acting as a compass. Isn't that cool? But in a recent clip, we saw that Newt's wanted mugshot was posted at the French ministry. So maybe it's dangerous for him to be seen in public now. And maybe Yusuf Kama brought him in via case. We know there's a connection between Yusuf and Nicholas, and I suspect, with Flamel's longevity, he's been helping Yusuf find Credence. I want to thank Catherine for reminding me about my oldest and first theory video. When the character posters came out with the one of Tina and Yusuf featuring a feather, she wondered if it was a hint of Tina's possible animagus. Way back after the first film, I theorized that Tina might have been the pigeon in the second Salemers church that Credence scared away, that she was watching over him. Wouldn't an animagus be a perfect partner for Newt? And Eddie and Catherine have hinted in recent interviews that in this film, Tina keeps popping away from him. Maybe she has wings. There's also a point I've been wanting to make for a while that relates to my second oldest theory video. A while back, Rowling tweeted about how the Elder Wand can keep tally of which wizard has beaten which. She says, the secret of the Elder Wand is that it's more sentient than any other. It can identify the caster of any spell that touches it and keeps tally of which wizard has beaten which, giving its allegiance to the one it judges the victor. Physical possession is irrelevant. In my video, I questioned whether Newt or Tina, or both, had won the loyalty of the Elder Wand off Grindelwald at the end of FB1. What if, throughout the series, the Elder Wand is keeping tabs and is not truly, or solely, Grindelwald's? What if it's learning how to defeat him? And as Dumbledore would be the person who knows the most about the Elder Wand, could he be aware of this possibility and manipulating it to his advantage? Could this be one of the reasons why it has to be Newt to confront Grindelwald, to prove to the Elder Wand that he is the stronger wizard? And could we see another moment of the gleam of triumph in Dumbledore's eyes from the Voldemort taking Harry's blood incident in Goblet of Fire? Now, about Credence and Nagini, I've been wondering. We've seen the French wand shop featured prominently in set visits, but it's not yet been shown in a trailer. Who might buy a wand? Both Credence and Nagini seem to be wandless. Might one of them buy one? Or both? They have extraordinary magical powers without a wand. Can you imagine either with one? And what if they were to have a child together? One that inherited her blood curse and his Lestrange powers, whatever they may be. What kind of magical power might that child possess? Then, in a recently released image forwarded to me by @LitaCat, Dumbledore is shown holding and studying Grindelwald's pendant. See the video linked above for exactly what this pendant is. But how did Dumbledore get it? My guess is that Newt somehow ended up with it during the graveyard battle, and when he confronts Dumbledore on the bridge at Hogwarts, he demands an explanation. Finally, I'd like to end with something I'm confused about and want your help making sense of. I'm going to show you a series of 4 images. They are all from the same room. But what room is it? First, we have the one of Credence we've seen in a couple of trailers. Notice the rail in front of him and the chevron wallpaper. In the Russian trailer, this was the room that also held the Phoenix. Now, notice these next 2 recently released with J.K. Rowling and someone on set. It's the same room. You can tell by the rail as well as the wallpaper. Then, most curious of all, look at this 4th image with the blast from the final trailer. The windows are the same in the room Rowling was standing in, which means it's the same where Credence was. Doubtless Credence is staring out after that blast, but did he do it or someone else? And where exactly is this? Also, notice that beyond the windows are the mountains. When you look at this other image of the mountains shown in the trailer, you see part of it blasted away. Many people wondered if the blast was part of Grindelwald constructing Nurmengard. However, Dalton Perkinson wondered if the blast was directly from whatever exploded the window. Look, you can see the fireball going to the opposite mountain. Whoever or whatever shot that blast was powerful enough to tear the side off a mountain. But was it Credence's Obscurus or someone else? And if so, who? Is this Nurmengard? The set designer showed concept art of Nurmengard that had distinctive windows. MuggleNet reported, the art department also showed us a particularly alarming concept drawing of Nurmengard. A spacious, high-ceilinged room with large windows overlooks a cliff top, and in the bottom right-hand corner, the backs of Grindelwald and Queenie. But wasn't Nurmengard supposed to be a prison for political opponents even then? So why would it be so nice? Remember, this is the same room we saw Grindelwald walking through, looking triumphant. One other detail. This room contains a very large book that Rowling is inspecting. Kelly L. was quick to notice that it seems to be covered in constellations and may be a book of astrological charts. So I'm wondering if Nurmengard also serves as Grindelwald's headquarters and war room where he will meet with his acolytes to plan what's to come. Acolytes. It gives his inner circle a religious or cult-like feel, doesn't it? And if astrology and the magical zodiac play a large role in his timing of his military campaigns, as we've talked about with the amphitheater scene. If so, could that blast have been an accidental explosion from one of his war weapons? Or success, as he looks so triumphant in that images? So, as I come to the end of my theories, I just want to express amazement. I've been doing theory videos for almost 2 years now, ever since the first film was released, and I still have so many theories I haven't had time to cover. Can I just say, to layer in this amount of mystery and clues is an incredible undertaking. J.K. Rowling and the Fantastic Beasts filmmakers are amazing. Now, where do we go from here? From now until the movie is released, my videos will be a bit different. I'll do 2 types. One will be summary videos drawing from the theories I've already posted, such as my top 5 worst theories and my top 5 best. I'll also do one where I draw from all the best theories posted by you in the comments up until Friday, November 2nd. That way, we're protecting the secrets and not dipping into theories from people who have seen the film. I'll also do 1 or 2 theories on subtext. I see these differently than regular theories in that the purpose is to get below the surface of what is shown on the screen, the mythical and literary allusions behind them. Finally, if the filmmakers end up posting responses to the cast questions from months ago, and there is anything intriguing, I'll cover that as well. For those of you who have seen the film, please protect the secrets and do not post spoilers in any of these other videos. Also, please do not tweet spoilers at me. Those are too easily stumbled over by fans who are trying to avoid them. However, I feel like YouTube is a safe place where fans who have seen the film can congregate to share their excitement, and you can't accidentally stumble into watching a video, as long as the title is kept spoiler-free. So sometime in the next few days after the film starts showing, I'll post a video clearly marked for people to share their excitement. If you post spoilers in any other thread, however, I will hide them. So, what do you think? What kind of conflict scene do you expect to see between the commas and the Lestranges? And what kind of blast do you expect to see at Nurmengard, if that is indeed where that room is? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Also, please check out my new fan shop on Amazon for books and Funko Pops and wands and all things Fantastic Beasts.